Oh my God.
Oh, dude, you're like a real superhero, man.
Oh my God.
Hello, tropical fish keepers. Welcome to Alex and Jeremy Talk Fish. I'm Aqua Alex.
And I'm Jeremy Stellhorn.
Welcome to our second episode of Alex and Jeremy Talk Fish. We had a blast on our last episode, and I'm sure today's episode is going to be equally as good as our last episode. Today, we're going to talk about how the fish keeping hobby has evolved, how the aquarium hobby benefits us, and more. I'd like to remind all of our viewers out there that you can post any fish keeping questions in the comments and we'll answer them on the next episode. So, Jeremy, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good, Alex. How about yourself?
I am doing great. I'm happy to be here on the show. It's going to be a great show tonight.
I'm excited.
So, to get us started, have you gotten any new fish this past month?
Nope. Just trying to keep up with the ones I have right now. It's been a crazy, crazy month. So
That's
now
cool.
I don't think I'll be getting any new fish for a little bit here.
That's cool. I actually did a fish trade at my local fish store. I traded all my monsters for two baby monsters. I got
There
two
you go.
silver arowanas.
Oh, did you? Nice.
Yeah, you'll probably see them swimming in the tank behind me.
Yeah, no way doing that shit. No way at all.
Yep.
So, how are your fish doing?
Everybody's doing good so far. Just kind of getting their water changes and getting fed and enjoying that part of life. Other than that, I haven't had a whole lot of time to sit down and watch them too much.
I know you're a busy man.
Yeah, we just had the boy graduate and then the field trip and then all the running for work and getting ready for that. So it's been very busy.
Congratulations on Brody graduating.
Thank you. He was excited. We're excited. He graduated 8th grade, so now he's going to be a big high schooler.
That's cool. So, what's your favorite fish that you have now?
Probably the Red Devil yet or the Oscar right now.
That's cool. I like my silver arowanas and I like my chocolate cichlids now.
Your what?
My silver arowanas and my chocolate cichlids.
Nice. I do enjoy the chocolate cichlids.
Yeah, they are a cool fish.
Arowanas are neat, but they've never been my type of thing.
Yeah, they're a cool oddball fish. They look like dragons, which is what I like about them.
Yep. Yeah, they're neat. They had one at one of the fish stores, but he didn't look so great. He was kind of a sideways swimmer, so he was wanting to make a deal on him. I'm like, no, I think I'm good on that one. But no, I've never been like I've never owned one. It's never been on my top fish to own yet.
Not yet. All right, so let's get to our first topic, and we're going to talk about how the fish keeping hobby has evolved. When did you first get into the aquarium hobby?
When I was in like maybe 5th or 6th grade, Mom bought a little aquarium for us. At the time, a 10-gallon tank was when we first got into it. And then after the angelfish killed everybody else's fish, my little Mickey Mouse moons and my sister's neons, we kind of went away from that. So we had a brief stint of fish keeping then. And then after that, it was probably around 2009 or 10 that I probably got started back into it when my son was trying to learn to potty train. And we had figured with kids with autism, they said that fish are good for them. So we ended up, every time we'd use the potty, we'd get him a goldfish, and every 5 times, every 10 times, we'd get him a goldfish. So that's kind of how I got started.
That's cool. So what are some of the changes that you have noticed?
Since I started keeping, and
Yeah,
stuff that I do?
Like when you first started to now.
When I first started, it seemed like it was kind of when the fish craze hit, when everybody and their brothers was trying to do the fish thing. So it's probably a little less popular now. Now you see more people with 20 fish tanks than you do just regular people who have one, it seems like. At least where I'm at now. 2 is Walmart doesn't have them, and you don't have a lot of the local pet shops anymore where you could go in and get a goldfish or neons or stuff like that. I think we had 2 or 3 more in the St. Louis area shut down. It seems like the people in the hobby are a lot more into it than what they were before, but there's less people into it, I guess you would say. And then just the equipment and stuff's gone way bigger, way better. But I think more people have gone back from getting the big filters and pumps to doing just the sponge filters and stuff. It seems like people have cheaper stuff to keep more fish than they do having the big fancy tanks, in my opinion, and what I've seen. How about you?
That's a great answer. I actually wrote some notes for this, so here is my answer. When I first got into the aquarium hobby, I was probably like 8 or 9 years old, and snakeheads and walking catfish were legal. But unfortunately, I never got the chance to keep snakeheads, but that just shows my age. I'm 29 now. My
Yeah,
first,
you're an old man, weathered old man you are.
yeah. My first years in the aquarium hobby, most of the fish species in the aquarium hobby were natural fish that you would find in the wild, minus an
Yeah.
occasional albino like Oscars. And most fish were wild caught when I first started.
Yeah.
And then when I was around 10 to 12 years old, I think, flower horns and blood parrots became involved in the aquarium hobby. And then soon after that, we had glowfish.
Yeah. Yeah, the man-made fish seems to have come in within that time period. It really has. It's turned into more of a, how do you call it? A mix match to make the perfect fish for people, or the most interesting fish, I guess.
True. I'm not really a huge fan of the glowfish. Bunch of blood parrots.
I have glowfish in the aquarium for the nursing home, and the older people really do love the pink glowfish.
That's true. They are kind of beautiful. They make a lot of money for the aquarium hobby.
I would imagine. I believe they were supposed to change color when your water parameters were bad or something like that, was what they originally had intended to do. I read a whole article on them somewhere. And then they ended up selling them, realizing that they could use with the light and stuff, the different colors. People liked it because you could put the black light or whatever it is on them and it would make them glow. But it originally they were trying to figure out a way to make it easier for people to realize their water quality was bad, I believe.
I kind of like that idea. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. But I think it was, they changed genetics or something like that instead of actually they altered the fish more than they made the fish. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think they inserted some jellyfish DNA into them.
Yeah, something. Yeah. I read the article, but right now it's not on the tip of my head at the moment.
Yeah, glowfish has glow tetras, glow barbs. They even got glow corridorus and glow angelfish now,
Oh,
and
wow.
glow
Yeah.
bettas.
I just remember when it was the glow tetras that I think was the only ones I remember when they first came out. Because they had a yellow one or a green one when they first came out up at the store one time, and I saw them like, that's a weird color.
I know. They are nice though, but they're pretty expensive.
Yeah. We got ours were a donation to the club that I have up there, so I really don't know. Somebody decided they didn't want to take care of them anymore.
Nice. So keeping monster fish was just starting to get popular. People were into Oscars, scars, arowana, etc. And I became interested in monster fish, and I joined several fish forums. Back in the day, fish keepers were very helpful, but today, only some fish keepers are very helpful and knowledgeable. But there are a lot of what I call fish police, people that are very brutal, degrading, and they attack other fish keepers. What do you think about that?
What do I think about the idea of the good and
Fish
the bad
police.
in the forums? I think that I think that this is kind of fish keeping is a perfect hobby because you can do it as a group with your friends, like a club or a forum or something. But it's also something that you can do by yourself. So it's some of those people that kind of like the people who sit online and game or do whatever, and you kind of can have your own ego built up into it because there's nobody to put you in check, really. So I think that you have a little bit of that too, is the personality sometimes in the fish keeping hobby. You have some of the ego driven, my fish are better than yours, I'm smarter than you, my way is the only way. So I do see the aspect in that, and being more of a male dominated hobby, or seems to be a male dominated hobby. You always have the guys who kind of are more competitive and compete and have the ego. So I understand it. I don't think it's great for new people. I remember one time, and I can't remember the guy's name. Me and you tried to remember it a while back, but there was this guy on when he first got onto the Facebook fishbook pages, right after the goldfish had kind of gone, and I had went and got the mollies, and I had some questions about mollies. This guy just, the guy with his cut off sleeves and his blonde hair, the little flat top, and his Camaro is his sign. He had to let me know that I was the worst of the worst as a new person and not knowing these answers and not doing enough research and all this other stuff. I just asked simple questions about the mollies, like, do you add salt or not to your mollies? And then, just basic little stuff like that. And it just, I remember that it was like the biggest teardown that I've gotten in a while. So I'm like, you know what? Maybe I don't need to be as active on these. So I remember as a new person, it being a little more intimidating. Now I don't want to, I look forward to good feedback. I don't know everything. I'm not, a scientist. I'm not a whatever. So I enjoy hearing the way people do it and see the way people do it. And I'm always open to, new ideas and stuff like that and see what's going on. But I don't think we need to beat the new people into our way, or especially when the guy you're selling something, you really, try to sell these people all this stuff they really don't need just because you think you're somebody or you want to be somebody. I think that aspect kind of goes into it. I just remember when I first started, and that's actually right when I first started talking to you to find out some of the more stuff that I didn't know, because you were easily able to be approached. Whereas other people online, you'd put it on and some people would be good, but then that one person would talk and then all of them would just kind of shut down. I remember that at the very beginning. So I've always tried to be very, very almost kid glovish whenever I talk to people. Tell them the truth, but tell them the truth with kindness. That's kind of the way I look at it. I can see the ego driven part of it. I can see that there is a money aspect in it, especially if you're a breeder or whatnot, you know. And but I also see that there's a place and a spot for everybody in the hobby. You have your top end breeders, you have your middle end breeders, you have, you always want the top genetics, but not everybody's going to want to pay $100 for a fish. There's people who just want a pretty fish that sits in their tank and chills out for $6-7. You know what I mean? So I see the aspect in all of it, but there's a spot for everybody in the hobby. Everybody doesn't need to have the top show tank, and everybody doesn't need to have 100 tanks. So there's a little niche for everybody in the hobby, and what they keep and do is my opinion on it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. I agree 100% with you.
So
So
what's your
another thing,
thoughts on the
go ahead, sorry.
what's your thoughts on the fish police?
I think some of them are a little bit brutal because when you think about it, fish are coming from the wild and they're living in glass boxes. There's nothing we can do to replicate the wild.
There are ways to kind of, but yes, you are correct. But most of the water here is cleaner than the water that they originally came from. It's just that water constantly moves. So a lot of the nitrates and stuff, I believe, would wash down. You know what I mean? So it's fresh water or fresher water coming down from the
True.
mountains to the ocean or whatever. But yes, I believe in changing water. I know a lot of people, or some people, believe in just topping it off and doing stuff. I do my water changes weekly, stuff like that, where I know other people don't believe that you need to or whatever, and I disagree with that 100 wholeheartedly. I show them what I find, but I mean, it is somebody else's pet. You can give them advice, but if they don't take it, it's on them as well.
True. It's mostly people that judge when they see people keeping Oscars and monster fish. I mean, they're in a glass box. Nothing you can do but provide them a large aquarium.
Yes, and it is. I mean, I get a lot of pictures of people having goldfish in smaller tanks or an Oscar in a smaller tank, and everybody wants me to go buy it or as a rescue, but I can't buy every fish that needs a bigger tank, especially when I don't have a $700 or 700-gallon tank for all these fish. I know a lot of people get upset when they see that, and I understand that, but it's not always our job to run out, and especially if the guy makes money off of raising it to a certain point and then get rid of it. So then he thinks it's okay to do for all the time. You know what I mean?
That's true. People make a habit of it,
Like when you see
unfortunately.
a lot of the betas that everybody complains about being in sad conditions, they buy them. Well, that shows the store that should bring in more because people are buying them. And you hate to say that it's bad for the fish. I feel bad for the fish when it's not cared for or done right, but you can't fix all of the problems, especially when you do it with a monetary wise. If you're buying those fish, then the store thinks that they have a hot commodity, so they'll bring more in.
That's a good point.
But yeah, we get that with the fish police too. I haven't had too many issues, knock on wood. We'll see how this goes after this, but it is
I've got
it
fish
is one of
police
those
up me all
things
the
that
time. Up my
do
alley all the
what?
time. They're always after me.
Yeah,
I got fish
keep
police
after
after me all
Alex.
the
Let
time.
me be. but
I kill
yeah, I
fish
mean,
police all the
it is
time.
a point that you can make a suggestion, but it's also a point when somebody goes to the other end of harassment. That's why it's kind of nice if
I know.
somebody
That's what I'm referring to.
do what.
That's what I'm referring to when they start harassing you and stuff. It gets
Yeah,
annoying.
I'm lucky I'm busy enough that I don't have time to worry about what everybody else is doing. I'm trying to remember what I was supposed to be doing. So I don't have a lot of that I have time to worry about what somebody else's tank looks like or how they keep their fish or whatnot. If it's something terrible, I'll be like, hey man, why don't you just, if you can't do these things to help it, maybe find a friend or do whatever that can help you out. But then I kind of leave it at that. But, I mean, it's not my job to be after somebody either. My job is to try and help them understand the hobby and enjoy the hobby and find the best possible way for their fish when it's asked for.
That's good. So you're not a fish detective.
Not right now. I don't have time. Maybe when I'm old and bored and I want to yell at the clouds, I'll get online and yell at somebody. But yeah, right now I got too much to do.
The last thing I noticed about how the aquarium hobby evolved is like you. All the aquarium equipment has elevated to bigger products and better products. So I think that's great for the aquarium hobby.
I agree, as long as there's different modes for people to be in. Not everybody can afford the FX6.
True. There's good hang on the back filters and there's good now too.
Yeah, as long as they keep where there's different ranges of stuff that works and lasts, yes, definitely. I mean, we're lucky enough now, and I read somewhere that more houses have fish than any other pet in the United States. So it's probably, even with the smallest amount, one of the more lucrative hobbies to be in, I guess, or for, the big companies that make like the Tetras and stuff like that, where everybody from Walmart and wherever can buy one. I would imagine those are pretty lucrative markets if they can keep something that's not overly expensive.
That's true. So how has the aquarium hobby benefited you?
Honestly, lots of ways. Um, I met you through the aquarium hobby. So I've made lots of different friends from the aquarium hobby. I actually have friends from all over the country and several other countries from just being in the hobby and talking to people about their fish and stuff. I've learned a lot more. I do have a business. It's not like a super, it's not a business that I'm rolling over and making tons of money in or nothing, but I started a business to help fish keepers save money, and that goes back into it. So I can honestly say there's been some financial benefit. Not like I'm not like you. I don't have the money bin to dive in yet every day, but I'm so I do have the business that kind of makes a little bit of money, but it's one of those things that it has benefited me in a small financial manner, not anything that's going to show up anywhere. You know what I mean? I'm not going to get rich off of it. I might buy a fish or some fish food or something like that for me, but it's not going to, I'm not going to be building the house with a 700-gallon aquarium in it anytime soon. We'll put it that way. But it has done that. But honestly, like, the mental aspect of it is just to sit back and chill. I work a lot. I run a lot. So when I do have time to clean my aquariums, I do like doing water changes and cleaning the tanks. I think it's relaxing. And then just to sit there and watch the fish. When I go do the service tanks in the schools, or when I go to do them in the nursing home, the chance to get to talk to the elderly people and listen to their stories and, teach them about the fish that they have in there and different stuff like that. It gives me a chance to actually be an outreach to people who may not have their family and other people come visit them as much. So, like, what should take 30 minutes to do, I usually takes an hour and 45 minutes because of the talking and stuff. But it's a good chance to go in there and visit with the people and brighten somebody's day, even if it's for an hour. So there's that aspect of it too, is, it's kind of a little bit of everything. It's my relaxation, it's my entertainment, and it's, a tiny bit of income. How about yourself?
For me, I find the aquarium hobby benefits me because it relaxes my blood pressure when I can sit down and watch my fish eat and stuff. I really enjoy feeding them. Also, it helps me on a stressful day. When I have a stressful day, I can watch my fish and help me calm down. And lastly, how the aquarium hobby benefits me. When I purchase a fish, I have something to show for, because sometimes when you go out to eat and you pay the restaurant bill, you have nothing to show for. Or if you buy scratch tickets and you lose all your money, you have nothing to show for. But if you buy a tropical fish, you've got something to show for with your money. So that's how the aquarium hobby benefits me.
That is true. What's your favorite part about the aquarium hobby?
Let's see. I think that's an easy answer for me. Going to the fish store and buying new fish.
So social, kind of like mine, is getting out, seeing new people, talking to people, or just the aspect of having that new trophy?
I'm like the king at buying new fish. Every month I have new fish.
I think yeah, that's true.
Although recently I've kind of taken it easy on that.
That you have, but yes, I think your fish store starts to smile every time they see you coming in. It's like Mr. Krabs. He sees those dollar signs when he sees Alex walk in.
Yeah, I'm their best friend, I guess.
I like it. I like doing the club, meeting new people, talking to the new people, stuff like that. I have fun with that aspect of it. When Becky got sick and we weren't able to get out and do much, that was kind of the one thing that kind of was my entertainment and my social life. And just talking to people about their fish, then getting to know them and some of their family and stuff like that, that you kind of build connections. So now, all these years later, from when my kid was, at least 10, 11 years later, and I still have those people in my life that I talk to. So, it's kind of neat on that
That's true.
aspect of it. That's been my, I mean, seeing the different fish and getting to know them and keep them is kind of neat. Learn about how they breed and the different stuff they do. I always enjoy that. But it's also the social aspect of some of the good people. And then the funny stories of some of the crazy people that you've met as well. There's some wild ones out
Yeah,
there in the fish hobby too.
there's plenty of characters in the fish hobby.
Yes, there's definitely personality. I got a message sent to me. We have a fish show, which is in it was a pet expo, but it was fish, and we had some other pets and stuff there. So we had a free taco bar for the people that came in. We had drinks, chips, and then there was a free taco bar for everybody coming in. No charge to come in. If you wanted to donate, you could. You didn't have to. Open to anybody. If you have money or not, you're more than welcome to come in and enjoy. And so this guy drove for an hour and a half, and I know he ate four big old trays of tacos. And
Damn.
he was just going to town, and then he wrote me a letter that he was all mad because he didn't think it was worth the gas money for him to drive his truck for an hour and a half to go eat free food and not buy nothing.
Wow. 4 pans of tacos.
So he always wanted advice, but he would text him one advice, but then he would talk to somebody else who wanted to sell him something. So then I was wrong, which is fine. They can take his money. I don't care. But it was always something. But yeah, he was so mad because he came. He stayed the whole time, the entire 4 hours. He ate all these tacos, had chips, soda, just had a good time talking to everybody, trying to get, hey, if you're not going to sell that, you want to give that to me for free? And then he wrote me a letter saying how he was mad because it wasn't worth the gas money for him to drive his truck up there. I'm like, I'm sorry. I didn't make you come.
Well, I think the four pans of tacos was definitely worth the gas money.
It was good tacos. It was Watkins taco seasoning. But yeah, I mean, it was a good show. We had 42 vendors, and it was a lot of stuff. It was really fun. But yeah, everybody else was like, this was a pretty good show. This was great. And then it wasn't worth the gas money to drive up there and eat free food. That's the biggest character so far that I've met. Huh?
He probably broke his toilet after.
That was the biggest character I've met so far that's in a good light. A funny character, not a ripoff or something like that. But that was the best funny character I met. He's a nice guy. He just got his own ways. But yeah, it was funny.
That's true. So what's your water change schedule like?
Once a week, I try to do at least 50%.
Me too. I do once a week on all my tanks, about 30 to 50%.
So yeah, I have 17 tanks I change water in, so total between the school,
Wow.
the nursing home, and the house. So I'll set aside a night, and I'll just go through on all the ones at home, and then I'll set another night and do the other ones. So
You have a lot of tanks to take care of.
yeah, I mean, most of them aren't full. Like the big tank in the dining room, which has the big Oscar and some of the other fish like that, it gets more often than once a week. Maybe I'll take a little bit out here and there, and then I'll do a 50, but the rest of them, you can just do the 50% once a week and be good. You know what I mean? And if you miss a few days before you get to it again within that 7, they're not going to be bad.
That's true.
I hold my feedings back. I don't feed a whole lot, so it's not like 2 or 3 times a day. I usually only feed a couple times a week for most of the ones with the smaller fish, because they have plants they can nibble on. They have, the algae, moss, stuff like that. So I don't go overly crazy with the feedings either, to try and keep it a little better, just in case I do get busy and I run behind.
Generally, I feed every other day, once a day, but sometimes I do
Yeah.
feed every day.
Oh, there's days. Trust me, the Oscar will let you know when he wants food. He'll be splashing that water in there. He'll let you know. I come in there, and because I use a lot of the duck. What is it called? Not guppy grass. Oh, I just got a brain for it. I sent some to you. Duck bit, frog bit. I use a lot of
Frog bait,
that.
yeah.
And yeah, duckweed. I have a lot of duckweed on all my tanks, just for something for him to eat on, to keep the water clean and stuff like that. And now he's learned that if he can splash all that up on the wall and stuff like that to get attention. So the
Yeah, all the
goldfish eat
plants you
it
sent
pretty
me got
quick.
eaten.
What?
All the plants you sent me got eaten by my flagtails, silver dollars, and goldfish.
That's what they were sent for, is to be eaten. I was hoping they'd clean some of the tank up, but that's what they do.
My fish had other plans.
Yeah, it cleaned them out. They're all good to go. My goldfish love it. My goldfish love it. So it's just I
It's
don't
good
have
for
enough
them.
goldfish to keep it clean.
Is there anything else you'd like to talk about today?
Offhand, I don't have anything overly. Just if you're looking for good food for a fair price, go to Little Egypt Aquarium Club and check it out. Alex will put a link for you to save 10% in the show notes, right, Alex?
Yes, the link will be in the description, and make sure you click on that link and enter coupon code Alex to save 10%. I might have to go charge it, Alex Cardinale, on some of you to get you to buy stuff.
And a little bit will go to Alex, a little bit will go to the club, so it'll go to a good cause. It'll help do more of these shows, help pay for some of these shows, and it'll also help pay for club events and free stuff in the future that we're hoping to do, some stuff on here and some stuff through the club locally. So, you're helping the content that you enjoy. You're not really, it's going to a good cause. It's not just going to me drinking sodas and sitting in the porch. So, it goes to a good cause. It goes to help with the tanks in the classrooms and the nursing homes. We don't charge them. We set everything up between donations and foods we usually end up donating. So, I mean, it's not like we're, gouging you and trying to do something crazy. We're just trying to enhance the hobby is what this is for.
That's true. There's Rapashi on the website and some awesome filter media and stuff. So check it out. And make sure you use discount code Alex to save 10%.
Yep. Alex will throw it in the show notes and we'll be set to go.
Perfect. Thank you so much for another amazing episode.
It was great talking, Alex. It always is.
I know we have a blast all the time. I can't wait for next month.
Yep. Sounds good. Thank you, everybody.
A reminder to our audience, if you have any questions you want us to answer next month, post them in the comments and we will answer them on the next episode. Thank you, Jeremy, and thank you, Fish Keepers, for watching.
Good show, Alex.